Hey everyone, and welcome back to the mat. Today, we're diving into something really exciting, yoga for growth. We're going to explore 15 amazing asanas or poses that can help young girls like you tap into your full potential, not just on the mat, but in life. Remember, yoga is about so much more than just touching your toes. It's about finding that beautiful connection between your mind, your body, and your breath. As we move through these poses, think about standing a little taller, feeling a little stronger, and carrying yourselves with confidence and grace. If you're ready to lengthen, strengthen, and maybe even grow a little taller, grab your mat, some water, and let's get started. Let's begin with Tadasana, or mountain pose. Come to stand at the top of your mat, feet hip-width apart, toes grounding down like roots. Feel the weight evenly distributed through your feet. Lift through the crown of your head, creating space in your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down, creating space in your chest. Relax your arms by your sides, palms facing forward. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, root down through your feet, feeling strong and grounded like a mountain. Hold this pose for 5 deep breaths, feeling the expansion in your chest and the grounding through your feet. Tadasana is the foundation for all standing poses. From mountain pose, let's flow gracefully into Vrikshasana, or tree pose. Begin by shifting your weight onto your right foot, grounding it down firmly. Bend your left knee and bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh. Find your balance and bring your hands to your heart center in prayer position. If you feel steady, you can extend your arms overhead, reaching your fingertips towards the sky like branches reaching for the sun. Hold for 5 breaths, then gently release and repeat on the other side. Tree pose is all about finding your balance and inner strength. From tree pose, step back to plank pose, and then gently lift your hips up and back, coming into downward dog. Spread your fingers wide, pressing evenly through your palms and the balls of your feet. Relax your head and neck, letting your ears frame your upper arms. Feel a nice long stretch through your entire spine, from your tailbone to the crown of your head. With each inhale, lengthen your spine. With each exhale, relax a little deeper into the pose. Hold for 5 deep breaths, feeling the tension melt away from your shoulders and back. Chapter 4, Bhujangasana, or Cobra pose. Opening your heart and finding flexibility. From downward dog, gently lower down onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, palms flat on the mat, elbows pointing straight behind you. Press through the tops of your feet, keeping your legs active. On an inhale, gently lift your chest off the mat, leading with your heart. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Hold for a few breaths, feeling the expansion in your chest and the opening of your heart center. Then exhale and slowly lower back down to the mat. Chapter 5, Paschimottanasana, or seated forward bend, stretching deep and finding release. From Cobra pose, gently press yourself up to a seated position. Extend your legs straight out in front of you, feet flexed towards the sky. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, begin to hinge at your hips, leading with your chest. Reach for your toes, or wherever feels comfortable for your body. Hold for 5 deep breaths, feeling your hamstrings and spine gently lengthen. With each exhale, try to soften a little deeper into the pose. This pose is a beautiful way to release tension in your back, hamstrings, and hips. Chapter 6, Trikonasana, or triangle pose, finding stability and length. From seated forward bend, come to a standing position. Step your feet wide apart, about 3 to 4 feet. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees and your left foot in slightly. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, reach your right arm towards the sky and your left hand towards the floor. Extend your left arm straight up towards the sky, stacking your shoulders and creating a long line from your fingertips to your toes. Hold for 5 breaths, feeling the stretch through your sides, legs, and spine. Then gently release and repeat on the other side. Chapter 7, Sukhasana, or easy pose, finding calm and connection. From triangle pose, come back to a seated position on your mat. Cross your legs comfortably in front of you, resting your hands on your knees with palms facing up or down. Lengthen your spine, sitting up tall but keeping your shoulders relaxed. Bring your attention to your breath, noticing the rise and fall of your chest and belly. Stay here for 5 deep breaths, or longer if you like. Sukhasana is a wonderful pose for calming the mind, finding stillness, and connecting to your breath. Chapter 8. Ustrasana, or camel pose. Opening your heart and finding courage. From easy pose, come to kneeling on your mat, knees hip-width apart, shins pressing into the floor. Place your hands on your lower back, fingers pointing towards your hips. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, gently arch your back, leading with your heart. If it feels comfortable, you can release your hands to your heels, one at a time. Hold for a few breaths, feeling the stretch through your chest, shoulders, and the front of your body. Then gently release and return to a kneeling position. Chapter 9. Hastapadasana, or standing forward bend. Releasing tension and finding grounding. From camel pose, come to a standing position with your feet hip-width apart. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, bend forward from your hips, keeping your spine straight. Reach your hands towards the floor, or as far as comfortable. Relax your head and neck, letting them hang heavy. Hold for 5 deep breaths, allowing your body to release tension with each exhale. This pose is excellent for calming the nervous system and relieving stress. From standing forward, bend, gently come down onto your back. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor, close to your hips. Press into your feet and lift your hips off the ground, sliding your hands under your lower back for support. Lift your legs straight up towards the ceiling, coming into a supported shoulder stand. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths, feeling the gentle inversion and the opening in your chest. To come out, slowly lower your legs back down one at a time, keeping your core engaged. Shoulder stand is considered the queen of asanas for its many benefits. Stand at the top of your mat with your feet together, palms pressed together at your heart center. Inhale deeply, feeling your chest expand, and as you exhale, bow forward. Step back into a plank position. Lower down to your belly. Inhale and lift into Cobra pose. Exhale and transition to downward dog. Step your right foot forward. Inhale and rise into Warrior 1. Exhale and flow back to downward dog. This sequence is traditionally practiced at sunrise or sunset. Lie down on your back with your knees bent and feet flat, hip-width apart. Place your palms beside your head, fingertips pointing to your shoulders. Press into your palms and feet, lifting your hips and chest, straightening your arms. Engage your core and keep your thighs parallel. Hold, feeling the chest opening and strengthen your limbs. Lower down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Wheel pose strengthens the arms, legs, and back while opening the chest and shoulders. Chapter 13. Parivrta Trikonasana, or revolved triangle. Pose, twisting, detoxifying, and finding balance. From wheel pose, come to a standing position. Step your feet wide apart, about 3 to 4 feet. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees and your left foot in slightly. Inhale deeply and extend your arms out to the sides, parallel to the floor. As you exhale, hinge at your hips and reach your right hand down towards your right foot, or a block if needed. Extend your left arm straight up towards the sky, stacking your shoulders and creating a long line from your fingertips to your toes. Hold for 5 breaths, feeling the twist in your spine and the stretch in your hamstrings and hips. Chapter 14. Setu Bandhasana, or bridge pose. Opening your heart and releasing tension. Lie down with knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Place your arms by your sides, palms down. Press into your feet and lift your hips, creating a straight line. Clasp your hands and press your arms down to lift your chest. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths, feeling the chest opening. Slowly lower your hips back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Chapter 15. Dhanurasana, or bow pose. Finding flexibility and inner strength. From bridge pose, gently lower down onto your belly. Bend your knees and reach back to grab the outsides of your ankles with your hands. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, press your feet into your hands and lift your chest and thighs off the floor. Hold for a few breaths, feeling the stretch through your entire front body, from your throat to your toes. To release, gently lower your chest and thighs back down to the mat. Bow pose is a powerful back bend that strengthens the back muscles, improves posture, and stretches the entire front body. And there you have it, beautiful yogis! 15 amazing asanas to help you stand taller, feel stronger, and embrace your full potential. Remember, The key to seeing results is consistency and listening to your body. Practice these poses regularly, and don't be afraid to modify if needed. If you enjoyed this practice, give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more yoga and wellness inspiration. Now go out there and shine your light bright. Namaste.